Everyone doing today? Looks like my microphone is working, if my OBS isn't lying to me. Let me just get the stream pulled up so I can see, verify that it's going. Yeah, so we're going. Oh, looks like that test poll. I was trying to set up a poll beforehand. Looks like that's showing in the chat maybe. But yeah, plan for today, just hanging out for 90 minutes like normal. Quitting time is 4:30. Gonna talk about just what's going on the past couple of weeks and maybe the next couple of weeks. And I think I put something in, 2023 business strategies I put in the title. So as always, I see some people finding the new emote. Shout out Amplitude. I asked for permission because Amplitude is basically gifted half of the memberships that this channel has. I said, you've unlocked more than 10 emote slots for me. I would be honored if I could have your avatar as an emote. So we do have the new Amplitude, I don't know what we want to call it, Bulba butt. Something like that. But yeah, we do have him available for anyone who's a member with the emotes. But yeah, 2023 business strategies. I'm spending, I think I started mentioning it a month or two ago. I'm going to spend this spring, the next few weeks, few months, really trying to fully get through my backlog. I've been full-time for almost 2 years now. It's not good that I've not yet caught up, but I'm just really trying to focus on getting everything out, getting everything listed, and getting more organized. Walrus said it was cool that you advertised next week's MetaZoo reveal so all 9 players can tune in. Yeah, I'm doing a spoiler stream. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about, not just MetaZoo, but some of the streams that I'm doing over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be doing a MetaZoo spoiler, native spoiler. I have five packs that MetaZoo sent me on Monday. And I also am getting like an image of another spoiler too, so I should be able to spoil 6 cards from it. I want to do something for Scarlet and Violet. I don't know if you noticed behind me, but, well, one, the big Quaxley, $49.99 for this monster, this behemoth. I mean, look at how big he is next to my head. I'm a big dude. Look at this guy. He is guarding, though. I'm not allowed to open them today. I can't open them till Friday, as far as I understand. But Quaxley is guarding Scarlet and Violet. I have the ETBs. I have the booster boxes. Everything landed today from my one distributor. I'm contemplating doing a Friday stream. I think the only way I could do a Friday stream of Scarlet and Violet, it would have to be at the morning. I think I would have to go like 8 to 11 a.m. or something. I'm not sure if I want to do that, or let me just run a poll. I tried starting up a poll. I'm gonna call it next Rip and Ships. I don't know why I couldn't figure out how to add a third option. I have 2 options here. I'm gonna do Scarlet Violet release Friday or next week variety. So for my next Rip and Ship, there's gonna be a poll going up right now. Do you want me to do it this Friday? It'll have to be 8 a.m. Eastern. It'll have to be 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern. That's really the only time I'm available. I can only do it Friday. I can't do Friday night. I can't do Friday afternoon. That way I could ship it out same day too. Do it in the morning, ship it in the afternoon. Or should I just wait till next week and then do kind of like a variety stream instead of doing just Scarlet and Violet? Should I do next week and have Celebrations, Evolving Skies, Scarlet Violet, Astral Radiance, Silver Tempest, Lost Origin? Should I just have everything available for a stream next week? So let me know. Feel free to vote in that. I would love... I'm cool either way. I'm cool doing it either way. But yeah, I'll just leave that open for a while. I don't know if I'll leave it for the whole live or however long, but right now it's fairly close. Most people leaning towards, and the variety stream, It could either be like it'll probably be an evening actually. Instead of doing during the day, it would probably be an evening. So it would probably be like 9 p.m. Eastern, and then I could go till 1 a.m. Whatever time. That's the nice thing about it. Scarlet and Violet, I'm just pretty restricted as to when I can do it per my schedule and per what Pokemon allows. It's a busy weekend. I have stuff going on both days, so I can't do it this weekend. Market strategies from the guy that just bought that Quaxley. What a time to be alive. Yeah, I wanted to poll it because honestly, I would be fine to do an 8 a.m. It's work for me. It's my work day. Nice thing about next week is, I mean, bad thing about next week is if you're trying to buy something from me and you hit that big hit and you want to get it to PSA right up front, you're going to be like a week behind, right? You're going to be lagging a week from everyone racing to the bottom on those things. But you can buy celebrations, you can buy tops, you can buy Lost Origin, Astral Radiant, all the things I said, everything I have, I'll list up. That's probably what I'll lean towards then. Most people are going for the next week variety stream, and it'll be at like 9 p.m. Eastern. So the variety stream, the variety stream will not include MetaZoo, James. So I'm going to split MetaZoo out. I'm gonna do a release stream from MetaZoo on April 14th. It should be, as long as my product gets here in time. So a little over 2 weeks from today, I'm going to be doing a MetaZoo native release stream. Yeah. I do like the idea of doing a designated stream just for the release of the new set, but the problem is I can only do it at 8 a.m. So it does take a bit away from the debut of the new set. One thing I can do is I can set up the orders ahead of time, and I can just open like all the Scarlet and Violet at the front end. I can front load all the new sets so that we can experience an hour and a half block of Scarlet and Violet, and then backfill in with the variety. Or I mean, I can just put up Scarlet and Violet product, and then if and when nobody's buying it, I can just go to the next set, right? Like, I don't even know if my channel, the small size channel I have, is capable of doing a single stream of just one set. I know the bigger channels, they sell out. They probably are able to sell more than they can feasibly rip within some set amount of time. But yeah, we'll probably lean towards next week. We'll see where the poll goes, though. We'll probably honor the democratic process of running the poll. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, Bulba Booty. Bulba Booty is what we can call that emote. Ball bass. Oh man. My overlay is still doing that thing where it right clicks on people. Let me catch up with chat, and then we'll just get into some conversations I wanted to have. I see people filing in. How's it going? Cheeks Galore, Beerski, The Green Shiz, Mike Canton, Brad G, Badly Super. Got a nice selection of people in here. Professor Birch, Garen. How's it going, Jay? Yeah, I think Ball Bass wins. So we got the Ball Bass emote in there. Ian Toomey started streaming and selling to people. Got a distro. My life is chaotic. Trash everywhere. Yeah, sorry, Earth. I was just breaking down some of the boxes of booster boxes and ETBs, and there's just so much. I mean, I recycle all I can, but there's so much trash, so much recycling. It's crazy. Chikasaur is not bad. Vandy said he'll be working at 5 a.m. He'd be here doing all that OT for the April 15th deadline, or April 17th, April 18th. I think we get till now because of the lands on a weekend, some holidays that Monday, I think. Yeah, the early stream would be more EU friendly. I don't think I have my Shopify fully figured out, though. I think international people have had issues trying to order from me, and I looked on my end and it looks like it should work, but I don't know. Question, I'm sure that you get a lot of repeat questions, but what is a question that you're surprised people aren't asking? In other words, what would Dan have asked Dan? That's actually a really good question. I guess this is the question that I'd have asked, because this really is putting me on the spot and I don't know how to answer it. I get asked a ton of repeat questions, which is fine. I mean, my channel is thankfully been growing fairly steadily since I started, so there's always new people in here, and not everyone's watched my 2-year backlog of content, right? So it's only reasonable that people are going to be coming in asking the same questions. One question asked today is, we're in a completely different environment than a year and a half ago, so it might warrant being asked again because it will be a new answer. But anyways, I'm tiptoeing around your question because I've not yet thought of how to answer it. But I don't know. That's honestly really good. I see Cam has one for us, so maybe this was the question. I have a question. How much money's in your bank account? Which bank account? I mean, I don't have a ton of them, but I have a handful. The business one is well below where I would like it to be. A certain amount of money is earmarked to pay off my taxes on April 17th or 18th. That's coming out. So when I mentally account for that money already being gone, and it's not at the number that I generally would like it to be. So I don't want to say what the number is, but it's not enough digits in it. There are missing digits in my bank account balance, I will say. Genuinely though, the answer to this, I think, is one, highly dependent on what you are and what you do. If you're a collector, flipper, investor, I try to make content that will benefit anyone interacting in this space whatsoever. And honestly, probably the best answer to this is, every time I make a video on Mondays, I'm trying to answer questions that people might. I mean, sometimes somebody will ask a question and it will spawn a video, but sometimes I just make a video trying to answer a question nobody asked. So if you look back through my videos, those are me trying to help people. Those are me trying to. My channel is clearly not much of an entertainment channel. I mean, look at what I do. Look at my videos. It's more. I mean, I'm trying to help people. I think it does entertain people in a way. It makes people think from time to time. But it's more, I'm trying to just answer questions that maybe I would have asked years ago, or nobody's asking, but I think that this is helpful to people interacting with the hobby. So yeah, I think that's, oh, Cam. Dan, I asked the question because I wanted an answer, not because I wanted to watch you sit on a fence. Do I account for tax when pricing, or is tax an afterthought? I mean, tax is always on my mind. I know that, I mean, I basically price things at market. So me having to pay taxes on my net profits don't come into play when I'm pricing an item. If I buy an item for 50 and market price is 150, like say I did a good job buying it low, I graded it, and now it went from 50 raw to 150 graded. I net 100, let's say I net 100 after fees, just to keep it simple. 30 bucks of that might go to the IRS, right? Like 30% of my net profits. I don't raise the price by, I don't try to factor that in. I try to make money on everything I buy and sell. And then at the end of the year, I do my taxes and I pay them whatever I owe. Roughly, I mean, depending on your bracket, depending on your state, depending on so many things, it might be 10% of what you net. It might be 50% of what you net. You work for 3 months, Vandy. Chill. Yeah, I do not have multiple bank accounts because of the FDIC limit. I've never had a bank account over the FDIC limit. It's not that. I just have like a personal savings account, a different one. I use that Yada. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of that, but I use that Yada, kind of like gamifying savings where you can win a bunch of money, but more often you just get like a reasonable interest rate. Can I get some advice on buying collections? Had a few people pass on me lately. Buying collections, it is just, know where you're going to sell the stuff, know what margins you have to make it worth your while, and then shoot out your best offer. And if you don't get it, don't get like discouraged. Just it's a numbers game. I might get 10% of the collections that I offer on, or 20% of the collections that I offer on, but it's just a numbers game. I offer on 100 collections, I get 20 of them, approximately, maybe. That's a complete guess. I don't even know what the numbers are exactly. But I don't want to open Scarlet Violet, but want to open something. Any ideas? There's so many things out there. I think you're going to lose money on most of it. You're definitely, most of it's negative EV. So whatever's going to bring you value, whatever you're going to have fun with. Appreciate you, your average player. Yeah, I'm most comfortable when I'm on the fence, for sure. What is the difference between sealed collector versus sealed investor? Different than a regular collector versus investor? I think oftentimes, maybe kind of a harsh answer, but I think oftentimes sealed investors, a lot of it's just semantics, right? Sealed collector versus sealed investor. I think a lot of people collecting sealed are just fooling themselves into that they're collecting when they're more like gambling / speculating on the sealed product going up. I think a lot less people would collect sealed if it wasn't thought that it was going to bring money back, which is fine. Like I'm not demonizing trying to make money buying products, because I do that. I mean, I'm a business, but I think a lot of people are way over optimistic on what the future will hold for so many different types of products. And any of this investing and speculating in product is just usually people justify a bigger budget for doing that because of past returns, and those might not always be mirrored into the future. Dan going 15 seconds without talking about taxes, level impossible. Yeah, I saw that TikTok, Mr. Walrus. I think that TikTok got taken down, or maybe it was just the YouTube short that got taken down. Thoughts on PSA 9 Japanese Togetic versus Altar Aerodactyl? I remember Jake talked about this some in his stream. I know the Togetic is $25. The Altar Aerodactyl is a few $100s. I would sell both. I don't really want either. I wouldn't auction the Togetic, and I'd be surprised if I couldn't get like 30 to 40 instead of 25. But yeah. Vandy, it's called Yotta, Yotta. Should I buy Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield ETBs for my collection now, or do you think there may be surprise ETN reprints like Vivid Voltage and Darkness Ablaze? I'm not gonna predict the future. I have no idea. I think every Sword and Shield ETB is easily in play for reprints. A lot of them are fairly cheap though too. Like I think a lot of them can be had for around retail. Sun and Moon, you get more speculative. I don't think they'd go all the way back to Sun and Moon base, but I can't say for certain. I don't know how long you've been back in the hobby, but like ideally grab things as they come out when they're sub retail. Don't like, there's so many things always to collect. Try not looking back, try not chasing backwards, paying too much of a massive premium for too many things in the past, especially if it keeps you from affording things in the future. How many eBay listings do you post a day typically? My goal for this year, and I've held current up through almost the end of Q1, 10 a day minimum. So I've been 1/4 of the year down meeting that goal. I do have everything scheduled through like April 2nd, I think. Scheduling is free now on eBay, which is great. So I just schedule them out ahead of time for about 10 a day. If I have a big submission come back, I hold back a little bit. I like the idea of getting things up as quick as possible so that I'm not just missing out on sales that could be happening. But yeah, 10 to 15 a day. Have I ever traveled outside of the US? Only Canada. Canada several times, but only Canada. One thing I want to do now that we're 20 minutes in, now that we've been going for a little while, I do just want to shout out, I did link it in the description below. I linked my Tiltify, and I'm going to turn on this overlay. I've had this overlay ready the whole time we've been talking. At the very top, you can see that I'm running a charity thing to benefit Breast Cancer Research Foundation. If anyone didn't see my video from Monday, that was my entry in the challenge. If you accept my challenge, or from the short from past Friday, if you accept my challenge and post a video or post an Instagram thing, I will donate $10 additionally to this drive. And if you beat me, I got 88 in 18 minutes, or 8 minutes. If you beat me, the original 151 challenge on Sporkle, I will donate $20. Every Friday, I'm going to be going through and doing my $20 per challenge accepted and beating me donation. I owe for this Friday probably a couple $100. So I haven't put that in yet. You can see down here, over here, I always get lost on where I'm pointing. My goal is $5,000. I don't know if we'll get there. Right now, we're a tenth of the way there, a few days in. $501 raised. That includes my original donation. You can see that I'm the top donator here at 151. But yeah, feel free to check out the link below. I'm not going to constantly be putting it in people's faces, but I'm going to just passively have it sitting there in case people want to donate. The link is right below. If you donate, it should be set up so that things will pop up on screen. Your name will pop up. I think down here is where a donation will come in. I think we got a nice little gift that'll dance around if it happens. And then up over here is where it will show the past donations, if anyone donates. No pressure to whatsoever. I just wanted to put that all out there. And now I'll just continue through the stream as normal with that just sitting there ready in case anyone wants it. You ever wish you could recapture the feeling of being a relatively new collector, the joy/wonder of discovering and collecting new cards, and the simplicity of not having to be a business? Not really. I really enjoyed my time in 99, originally being introduced to all this. And I really enjoyed my time in 2014, getting back into it. And it's like, oh man, look at all this stuff I missed from 2002, 2003 to 2014 and going through and opening every box. And I really enjoyed it, but we're in like a great era of amazing new product. And these Scarlet and Violet, I haven't opened them yet, but I'm going to open some tonight with my family. With my kids, with my wife. We'll probably open a couple booster boxes just for fun. I still really enjoy engaging in all this. I don't really keep as much anymore, but still experiencing. It's really fun. Every week, every month at least, there are new promos coming up from 10, 15 years ago that I never knew of. And it's mind-blowing how many cards are out there. I'm constantly getting new stuff consigned with me, or I see a new thing linked in Discord that I've never seen before. It's just really, really cool. It's really, really cool how much there is, and I'm having a great time with it. So I appreciate you, Mr. Walrus. Hopefully people saw the dancing Pikachu there. But yeah, Mr. Walrus with the $20 donation. It did dance. It did dance. You should see it on screen soon, Mr. Walrus. What else was I gonna say? I got lost. I got lost where I was going. But yeah, I'm still having that joy and wonder of discovering new things. I'm still having a great time with all this. Common question I get is, do you get burnt out? Does doing this as a business sour things for you? Does it make it not as enjoyable? Not at all. I'm just enjoying it in a different way. I'm on a different, very, very like cliche, very, very I guess just cliche is the right word thing to say, but I'm just at a different point in my journey, and I'm still having a great time enjoying it from this vantage point, from this side. Shadowless Red, when you move a piece of inventory to your PC, do you basically purchase it from yourself at $0 and absorbing the cost basis as a loss for KAC, Catch 'em All Collectibles? I'm not I'm not a tax advisor. I'm not a CPA, but there is a line. I believe there's a line right on the 1040 for remove for personal use or something. Let me pull up. I'm not going to show it on YouTube right now. I do have a video where I showed the 1040 and what it looks like and how it works a little bit. But I believe there's a line. I believe there's a line right on the 1040 about... Maybe not. There's somewhere, though. There's a way to account for it. These days, though, I'm not really removing anything from my business to absorb it in the personal collection. The ideal way to do it, if you're going to buy something knowing that you're keeping it as a PC item, just buy it on your personal credit card. Don't buy it with business funds. That's the easiest answer to that question. James likes my answer that I'd sell both. Where's trade night happening for Charlotte Collecticon? I don't think a hotel's even announced. I don't think tables have been put live. That's you're jumping the gun. I like where your head's at though, because I'm looking forward to Charlotte Collecticon. But you'll have to just pay attention as we get closer. Join the discords. Be active on the various discords where those things will be discussed. I do need to figure. I have like 5 people that are looking at those Naruto cards, Mr. Walrus. I will get back to you sometime soon. I need to dig up all the non-hollow ones that I want to include with it, but I'll be in touch. Yeah, sure. It's like 6 months away. Are you done grading MetaZoo for the foreseeable future? I've still found margins on some popular cards from each set. I am not universally done. I think I'm going to switch from set cards to promo cards. And honestly, that's one of the things that I wanted to discuss in today's video. So not only am I going to reevaluate kind of what I'm grading, because I was grading a few of every card from MetaZoo, UFO, and Seance. And initially they were doing fairly well. Lately they've slowed down to like screeched to a halt, basically. I'm not selling hardly any of those. But I know Basic has talked about, I'm not going to blow up some individual cards that he's been selling. There are some random promos, though, that have massive margins in MetaZoo. There are random promos in so many different TCGs that just have massive liquidity, massive margin. I've made a joke recently, a few times live, a few times in person, different discords. Any card, any Pokemon card that has pop 10,000 or will have pop 10,000, I want to grade at least 100 of them. I want to be, because if there's 10,000 pop, there's almost always going to be massive liquidity. And one recent purchase that I made that I just want to put on screen right now, this was a purchase. I tried getting the person to consign them. I really didn't want to buy them all, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to actually make a video around this purchase, a video around this topic. It's so silly that I do this full time and I didn't buy 100 of these to grade. It's so silly. I had the capital. I was there. I'm still working through this backlog, as I mentioned. Part of the reason that I'm trying to get through my backlog, this isn't all I bought either. These just sold this morning in one lot. Somebody saw that I listed like 8 of these Charizards, and they're like, hey, can I buy all of them for a good price? And I'm like, oh, well, I have more than just those 8. I actually have many, many more. Let me make a special listing for you. $2,200, $220 a piece. It's low list. Auctions go for $2 to $250. Buy nows go for $230 to $250. I'm doing a little test where I list several of them at once with varying ad rates. But yeah, like this is the kind of card that is so obvious. It's so obvious. So many people are doing the play. The liquidity is just massive. Like I think we all know out of the gate that this is a play. I've just like opted out because I have too many other things to catch up on. And at this point, it's like the straw's broken the camel, the last straw, the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm just feeling like I've missed way too much opportunity in easier work. I'm doing harder work to make the same or less than just doing these more obvious plays and having way higher liquidity, having way higher throughput. I want to get ideally contracted with eBay. I want to get lower selling rates. I would love to get lower grading rates with PSA. And the way that those things are done, or an easier bridge to get to those, is just in liquidity, high liquidity. So yeah, I paid way more than I wanted to for these cards. I paid a way higher percentage of low list. But I've literally I sold 10 this morning in one lot, and I had my eBay. Let me see where I went with my eBay. I guess I closed it. Let me pull it up really quickly. I want to say I've sold 22 of these, maybe. About 20 of these in the past. Let me see how many days it is. I don't want to guess. I just want to have the right number. Sorry, as I'm searching my eBay history. So I've sold 12 listings, but one of them was for quantity 10. So I've sold 21 of these. 21 in the past. Where did we start? 4 days. And I haven't moved the price. It's not been a drop in the bucket. I've honestly been selling these almost a little too fast. But the liquidity, I mean, it's not like it's news to anyone. You see this card, you know it's liquid. You see this card, a lot of people, oh, the price is too high. You could buy a PSA 9 WotC first edition for that. I'm a business. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. These things sell. Whether or not you agree or I agree with the price, these things sell. That's the facts of the matter. So more and more, I just want to get into, instead of grading onesies, twosies, doing 100 card submission with 100 different cards. I want to be doing 100 card submissions with like 8 different cards, where I just sell on one listing. These ones are worth anything over 100. I do unique front and back photos, so I do actual photos of the card you'll get. But anything sub $100, I sell it as a stock photo. I sell it as a stock photo. So if you're talking about PSA 9 Ancient Muse, if you're talking about PSA 10 Bumblebee Pikachus, PSA 10 Greninja Gold Stars, cards like that, when you grade 50 on one line on a submission form and you send them out, and then you sell them all through one, that is the kind of business I want to do. That's what Rusty built so much of what he has on selling PSA 10 WotC Black Star promos. And it's something I've periodically done too. I've done it over the years, but I just need to do it sooner out of the gate as the play's happening. I just need to be there with 100, with 200, with 300 of the card that everyone wants, of the card that's selling. Let's see. Anyways, not like that's not like that's any kind of a big revelation. Just something that I'm consciously trying to do moving ahead. I still will be buying collections. That binder collection, the best play I made of 2022 was buying that massive binder collection, the $48,000 binder collection of Pokemon and non-Pokemon. That's going to be my best ROI. That's going to be my best play overall. But that's so much more tedious, so much more time consuming. I need to have things like this on the side that are just like on autopilot, constantly churning through, because it's been too long since I have. I saw you sold one of your Final Fantasy Noir folders, and I'm proud that I'm also a rich investor like my financial advisor, Dan. Yeah, shout out Ray. Ray Q, he goes by on YouTube. He has his own channel. He linked these in Discord a while back. They're so, you can see how messy my desk is probably. But yeah, these things are so, look at how reflective. You can see my clock there. But these Noir collections, I bought 3 of them, sold one that paid for all 3. I have 2 more. Another one's been bought, but it's not yet been paid for. So hopefully that gets paid for. But anyways, I just want to do along on the side, not passively, but like just on the side, less active, a little bit more passive. I just need to have these things always in stock. It's so silly that I haven't. It's silly that I've allowed myself to be buried under some of the stuff I'm buried under and not making those plays. Literally everyone should be able to beat Dan's score. Yeah, I'm a very charitable guy, so I just went and I flubbed on purpose so that everyone would beat me, and I'd have to donate to 20 for everyone that accepted the challenge. 2023 business strategies. What are some resources you use to see what is currently trending? One site that I need to check out, I just watched Pokemon Classics video. I've heard about it before. Is it TCG Fish, I think it's called? Pokemon Classics just did a great video on some of the resources he uses. Pokemon Price, Pokedata, and then there was another one I'm going to check out. But usually it's just eBay sold, 130 point, TerraPeak on eBay research tab. Those are the main things that I use to just see. Honestly, Pokemetrics is a great one. Whatever's being graded the most, if you see that it's being graded the most when they're hitting the pop report, when they're coming back, it might be like too late, But honestly, it's not too late because like these things are still going for $220, and they've probably been one of the most graded cards over the past several months. So yeah, that was just a big handful of resources I use. Maybe at some point I'll make a standalone YouTube video. Classics just did one, so I'll probably wait a while. But yeah, like just recapping the main websites that I find myself visiting to see information. Do you think the amount of investors versus collectors is bad or good for the market? This is a constant topic of discussion and debate. I think certain people think way more people are investing than there are, and then I think other people think way less are. Who's right, who's wrong? I mean, I would put myself somewhere in the middle of the two extremes, as I usually am on any individual topic. But there are some crazy takes out there. I saw somebody link a Reddit post recently where 8,000 Moonbreons were graded. That's what's in the PSA Pop report. They thought that meant approximately 20,000 were produced. As if 40% of Moonbreons ever produced would have been graded. Nowhere near that. Nowhere near 40%. What the proper percent is, I have no idea. But obviously, some amount of Evolving Skies is still sealed. And I've seen some people on the other side of it. Some people think 90% of Evolving Skies is being kept sealed as an investment. I don't think it's anywhere near that. So many Evolving Skies products are being busted. Look at what Rattle's doing right now, chasing Moonbreon. Look at how many I've ripped on various live streams for YouTube. Look at Whatnot. Look at all these different apps. Rusty pulled a Moonbreon last night. Just doing the math on 8,000 Moonbreons, 1 per 1,000 packs. Some people even say 2,000 packs. 1 per 1,000 packs, just the graded Moonbreons. That's 8 million packs worth of Evolving Skies that was opened to obtain those 8,000 Moonbreons. And that might only be 10% of those that were produced. Or 5, like who knows? Who knows what percent that is? But I don't know what the ratio is, but I feel like overall, things are fairly... I don't know if I want to say an outright bubble. I think there are certain parts of the market that definitely feel very bubbly. Broadly, it doesn't feel as bubbly as it did in 2020. But even in the 2020 bubble, certain things bubbled, went up, popped, went down 90%. Certain things never went down. Certain things never bubbled, or maybe they're bubbling now. But that's just the nature of a collectibles market. Highly speculative, so many different segments of it, that not everything rises and falls together. Not everything bubbles together. Some things come later. But overall, I think we're in a generally good place, at least in what I dabble in primarily. What are your thoughts on Brilliant Stars? I feel like Brilliant Stars has been printed way more than people realize, such as packs and collection boxes and ETBs. I feel it will keep down sealed prices. I don't know. A restock just came. Restock, reprint, whatever you want to call it. I have no idea. Some amount of Evolving Brilliant Stars is being offered from distribution right now. So how big that was, I have no idea. These questions are so hard. When prices were nearing 180 or whatever they peaked at, I sold out. I think I have 1 or 2 boxes left laying around, but I sold out of almost everything I had, thinking that prices were too high for the time frame we're at, given the possibility of reprint. So now that a reprint or restock is coming, I hope I can get some quantity back in stock, and then I'll just I'll get a feel from there. Birch asks, have you ever built a competitive Pokemon deck or played a local tournament? Never. I've never played the game properly. I used to play when I was little. I play with my son every so often. As far as we just lay cards down, whoever has the biggest damage wins, whoever has the most hit points, whatever. Very basic, no energy, no trainers, no nothing like that. How much would you suggest to start off for a Pokemon business selling low-end cards? You can start as little as taking your childhood binder and selling cards out of that. I mean, I seeded mine in 2014 with $5,000. I know people like James. I think James didn't even start with seed money. I think he started with a binder, and then he flipped up from there. So depending on how much capital you have and how much time you have, you can literally start with $5 or you can start with 50,000. It all just depends on what you have available to you. There's no right answer. Most of my Yu-Gi-Oh cards from that collection are sold, yeah. They're sold, or they're at Troll and Toad Evo, or they're with Ernesto. Ernesto's actually semi-consigning some of that for me. Right, the poll, I'm just going to remind everyone the poll is there. The poll is at exactly 50-50. There's 56 votes in the poll, so I'm running a poll right now on should I do my next Rip and Ship stream this Friday for Scarlet and Violet release day. Should I do it for Scarlet and Violet release day at 8 a.m. Eastern and just sell Scarlet and Violet packs only? I would probably do like a 3-hour stream from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Or do you want me to do next week, some evening, maybe like 9 p.m. on Wednesday or something? Should I do a Rip and Ship stream of variety of like Scarlet and Violet celebrations, every set from the Sword and Shield block that I have in stock? Let me know. I saw two more people just voted. One voted for each option. So let's see if we can get a tiebreaker on that, and then I can end the poll at some point in the next 10 or 20 minutes. When shipping multiple slabs, say 4 or more that don't easily fit in the 000 and quad 0 bubbles, what do you choose? I do up to 4 slabs in a 00 padded envelope, and anything above 4, I actually use, I don't have one handy right now, but I always have them. The 20 card PSA return boxes, I'll just ship right in that. I'll ship like 4 slabs, or like 5, 6, 7, 5 to 20 slabs go right in that box, and then bubbles, as somebody said right here. Push King 420. Yeah, small box with bubbles. Can I nickname a shiny alpha parasect I just caught? I don't know what alpha. What's alpha mean? Shiny alpha parasect. I am so bad with names. I was one of those kids who I never nicknamed any of my Pokemon in the games. I don't know if that's more common or less common, but mine were all just boring Pokédex names. Everyone trying to keep it 50-50 in chat. If it's 50-50, I might just not do a stream altogether. We'll see. I appreciate you, Mr. Walrus. Mr. Walrus linked the Sporkle quiz in chat. If you go do that quiz, 8 minutes. Don't do the full 15 minutes, just 8 minutes. Take a screenshot of your results at 8 minutes. Tag me on Instagram. Tag me on YouTube, wherever you want to do it. I'll donate $10 to this drive for you accepting the challenge, and 20 if you beat me. There are a few people out there. I hope they're not. I hope they're not going to bail on it. But there are a few people that said they were going to make YouTube videos accepting the challenge. Most people have just done Instagram for now, though. But I'm hoping to see more videos. Shout out to the Pull Father. The Pull Father did do. I think that's the only video so far who's accepted the challenge and tagged me in it. How's it going, Java? Nice to see you. Oh, I just got lost. Hit the like button, please. Appreciate you, Retro. Stay away from the little guy plays. Keep buying 500k collections. Do you ever source multiples of one card from TCG Player? I've not in a long time. I guess the last cards that I did that with, I bought like 200 of the Full Art Celebrations Pikachus, which I need to go through and grade some, because the margins on that play are still crazy in 10. You need to get a PSA 10 with a lot of these plays. Even this one, I think raw they're like 70. Like near mint raw they're like 70 now. And PSA 9 sell for like 90. I did mine promoted. I did buy a small stack of 9s. I don't know where they went. Oh, right here. So I did buy a small stack of 9s. I have this right now promoted 5% or something, $99.99, and I haven't sold one yet. In all the time, 4 days, in all the time I sold those 21 10s, I sold 0 9s. So if it sells for 70 raw and grading is 15, you really don't want to grade 9s. You have to grade 10s with a high rate. Would I have paid $100 for that big Quaxley plush? I don't even want to think about how high I would have paid. It really is crazy. Pokemon probably didn't pay $3 for this. They probably have him made. Let's see if he's made in China. He's made in China. So Pokemon probably made 10,000 of these and paid like tops would be $5 a piece. Realistically, probably with shipping and everything, getting them here is probably $5 a piece. Realistically, they're probably paying like $3 a piece though. And they're selling them for 50, and I'm just eating it up. I hope they never do life size Quaxley for $350 or whatever price they sell those for, because I'd probably buy one. But I guess Quaxley's a duck. This might be life size. I don't know if life size would be like 3 feet tall, 4 feet tall. But I cannot afford everything I want. The main thing I want is financial independence. The main thing I want is to just have passive income that affords me everything I want. I'm not there yet. So I can't afford the biggest thing in life, which is freedom. But I'm getting there. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for 9.1 billion cards were made in fiscal 2022. Fiscal 2023 ends Saturday's April 1st. So fiscal 2023 ends this weekend. I think last year they announced it in June or July. So in June or July, we should get the number. I speculated, I think it was several months ago, maybe a few months ago, on what the print run was going to be for 2022. I think I estimated 6 to 8 billion. Or maybe I said 8 to 10. I don't remember what I said, but honestly, I'm leaning more towards like 9 to 11 billion. Like same as last year or slightly higher, but I have no idea. It'll be really interesting to see. Um, have we talked about Nostalgianomics bashing Dan yet? I don't think he bashed me. He named me in that video. He named me in the video where he got a little ranty about the old guard or whatever. I talk to him occasionally privately, and I think we're generally on the same page. It's funny too. I saw a couple people mentioning the stream that Jake had where Alex and Retro and Ray were on. I listened to the whole thing. I wasn't there live. I don't think it was nearly as dramatic as most people made it out to be. It's like Alex and Jake disagreed on some things, but as the video progressed, as it went through, they found their common ground, and they have a lot of common ground. Like it's so funny when I don't know what percent it would be, 50% of what they do, like their thoughts and their time frames overlap. And honestly, it's probably not 50. It's probably 80%, 90%. It's probably 80 or 90%. Even me and Jake. Me and Jake will get into a discussion where we have some differences of opinion on certain things. And that's like the minority. The majority of the markets, the majority of price targets for various cards, Jake and I would largely agree. It's only a tiny bit that we don't. And honestly, same for me and Alex, same for Jake and Alex. Between the three of us, we have a lot of agreement on where things are headed, and we just interact differently. We have different, well, one, I'm a business. They both have different full-time jobs. They both have different amounts of time that they want to allocate to this. So Jake goes more like value singles, grading or buying them graded if there's value there. Alex goes more passive as you can be. Buy sealed modern and sit on it. I do some amount of both. And I mean, I'm doing both at a bigger scale than either of them is doing. I mean, they're both big parts of my business. So it's really weird when people watch a video like that and they're like, "Oh, that was so dramatic. That was so crazy. It really wasn't that bad." Whatever. I don't know. It was an interesting video. I think it's cool to see people debate and have some disagreements. I saw some people talk about how it was like very, yeah, dramatic. And I didn't think it was that dramatic out of any individual. I think everyone was pretty composed. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to keep going on it. But Mr. Walrus says we're pro Nostalgianomics taking Dan down. Oh man. Hearing you talking about bubbles is giving me bubbles. Uh When you start doing liquid plays and ruining them for us little guys, kidding. But seriously, what is your plan on sourcing that many of one cards? Spam, eBay, TCG players kind of hit or miss, it seems. Ideally, I've already... Here's a play I've already seen a couple people talk about, and it's not like it's a big secret, but I have some of these out at PSA already. I'm not going to restrict to just Pokemon. This is One Piece. This is the Chinese One Piece New Year promotion. I've had a lot of people reach out to me on Instagram with Pikachu on the Ball promos, with Ancient Muse, with Bumblebee Pikachus, with like some amount of product finds me. That's the benefit of having a face in the industry. That's a benefit of having the channel. But like these, as of right now, the margin is going to go away. The margin is absurd. I think these sell for $15 sealed on eBay right now. I was able to buy a couple hundred at $6 a piece. So that was somebody I found on Instagram who has a contact in China. I just want to have the lowest cost basis, and I want to be able to grade for cheaper, sell for cheaper on eBay, and I want to be able to sell $30 PSA 10s and make money. I want to be able to make margin, make money at numbers lower than anyone else can. So two biggest parts of that, well, three. The three aspects of just being able to make margin when no one else can. And I'm not going to be the one. I don't auction. I think the people who ruin the plays for the little guys are the little guys that auction everything. I'm going to be the guy selling these PSA 10s for like $100 initially, promoted listing, multi-quantity. And then when somebody auction ones for 80 and auctions for 60 and auctions for 50, I'll just go down, increase my promo rate if I have to, and sell them as buy it nows. I think the plays that get overdone and the plays that really get destroyed, and I'm not saying, I mean, everyone's free to sell their cards how they want to, but like, yeah, I guess that's just getting into, I don't want to call out specific things, but if you overwhelm the market with auctions, you really can just make the price go down to nothing. Especially on the more niche stuff, because the people aren't there searching out the auctions. That's the issue with auctions. You have a certain audience, you have a certain limited buyer pool, and if you just hammer them with auctions, the floor is going to go down real quick. Not saying that I'm trying to artificially keep anything up, but at the end of the day, like, I'm going to be the guy selling for 50% more, 20 to 50% more via buy now when everyone else is auctioning them. Even these, like, let me pull up. I guess I'll leave one sitting there so you can have something to look at. But let me just, in the time that I have sold all those, let me see how many have sold for auction and what they've sold for. So Charizard, PSA 10, Classic Collection. I'm using Pokedata right now. My Pokedata, okay. I was going to say Pokedata is failing me, but it loaded. So via auction, these cards have sold for 222, 218, 200, 219, 213, 216, 217, 215. They're right in that vicinity. But like 185 was one of them. 213. I'm consistently selling. It's only 5% more, but I'm consistently selling these for 5% more than they're auctioning for. And I'm selling several a day. Like, I just think buy it nows are generally the way to go. I guess prices move up in big legs via auction sometimes on really scarce, really hard to find cards. But prices also elevate or down auction over auction on cards that as they go down a lot. Saw Pokemon Classic video, thoughts on TCG Fish. I've not looked into it too much, but it is something I've heard, and I do want to start looking into it more. And if it's better, I mean, he makes it sound like it's quite a bit better than the other ones. I'll definitely switch over. Um, Brad G Card says he's gonna accept my challenge. He's just lazy. Question: do you expect a bump in sales with XY EX and Nintendo EX era? Curious if the return of EX will have an effect on those, or will modern collectors stay in modern? It's all a big funnel. Some amount of modern collectors just stay there. Ultra modern is at the top of the funnel, and then on down in next step in the funnel, like max liquidity, max interaction, and max print run too, is vintage WotC, like early WotC, base jungle fossil rocket. So just below ultra modern, the last block of sets, the last block or two of sets, you have the earliest WotC sets, and then everything else in between is like further down the funnel, and then you have like the really niche Japanese trophy cards, things like that. But some amount will. Well, it's always what percent. Like people always want to know. Yes, I expect some person that sees Koraidon EX will look at EXs and they'll search them up, and some amount of people will just search like PSA 10 EX. They'll be looking for the new ones and they'll accidentally find the black and white era ones or the XY era ones. So some amount of people will find their way back there. What percent? How much will it matter? How much will it be? No idea. Like that's always the question. Absolutely some amount of people, but what percent? No idea. So I'm right now the poll's at 51% Scarlet Violet and 49% next week variety stream. That's crazy. What's my favorite Beatles song? It's crazy. I don't listen to music hardly at all anymore. I know a ton of Beatles songs, but I don't know them well enough to tell you which one's my favorite. And I'm pretty bad with like who sang what, and it's been so long since I've listened to music too much. I really have just been in a podcast. Like I do mostly podcasts and stuff. The only music I listen to lately is kids stuff, Kids Bop radio in the car, and Baby Shark radio on Pandora in the car with the kids, and then whatever stuff they listen to on YouTube. Um, Wait, it's passive income. I thought it was passive aggressive income this whole time. Thoughts on this tinfoil hat idea? The malls slash commercial real estate buildings leases coming due and low occupancy rates heading north. Will Pokemon partner to drive more local events games? I have no idea. Can you sell me one of those Chinese promos? Say yes, and I'll message you on IG right now. I have them on eBay. I have them on eBay, so I'm selling. Not only am I grading some, all the misses, all the ones that aren't gradable, I'm gonna just sell in a listing on eBay, and then I'm gonna sell some amount sealed too. So that's what I'm doing with like Gold Star Greninja's Chinese Scarlet Violet 1 promo release. Even the 001 SVP Japanese, I'm selling the ones raw that aren't gradable. For like break even, and then I'm grading the ones that are tenable. Hopefully, get a high 10 rate, make good margin. And I don't sell when I sell, like if I'm selling it sealed, I don't know what the promo looks like, so I'm selling it as just a sealed thing, near mint plus whatever it is. You open it, it's your risk. I'm also going to sell raw. These ones I call them near mint, but right in my description on eBay, I say that these are not 10 worthy. These are not gem mint quality. So I don't do the whole thing. I know some amount of people sell stuff as like near mint to mint, raw, hoping that people will buy it, intending to grade. But I consciously, like I intentionally, even my sealed gold star Greninjas that aren't gradable, I say right in my listing description that this is sealed, near mint, not gem mint. I say that right in my listing. But yeah, check out my eBay linked below. I think the issue is the little guy sometimes needs to do an auction because they need the liquidity ASAP to reinvest and grow versus waiting for a buyer to get their higher price buy now listing. That's the thing though. If you were here earlier, I have sold 21 of these in 4 days as the low list buy it now or slightly higher than the low list buy it now. 21 in 4 days. The key part of that being 4 days. Auctions are generally 7 days. If you need fast money on a card like this, you will sell quicker than an auction as the low list buy it now. And if you need a little bit of help with it, like this card is selling 10 plus times a day, every day. Why do a 7-day auction to get less than the buy it now when you can list it and sell an hour later? Like, what are we doing? That's my take on it, at least. When you're doing auctions, I get it on the older stuff, the mid-era stuff, the more niche stuff. The only thing with that is I'm selling those buy it now for, say a theoretical card that I sell for 220. That's like a WotC or a mid-era. Those might auction for 120, 150. Like there are cards that I am selling regularly, albeit slowly. I'll give you that. I sell some cards for double what they go for an auction, 50% more than they go for an auction. That's my whole business model, is just selling stuff slowly. But ultra modern, these cards with 10,000 pop that everyone talks about how bad they are, 10,000 pop means liquidity. 10,000 pop means popular. A lot of people want it. I don't care what the price is going to do long term because I'm just here to make margin in the short to intermediate term. That's what I'm trying to do. It does happen here and there. Many times I sell cards higher at auction because people watch my specific auction and don't realize they can buy it now for $5 to $10 cheaper. Absolutely. People get wrapped up in auctions, or maybe they see the auction and it's a very, very gem candidate. A good, clean 10 example with a clean case, whatever. So they bid a little more. But overall, buy it now is just go for more than auctions. Buy it now is generally set the ceiling for what the auction is going to go for, especially when there's 50 of them listed. There are probably 50 of these listed right now between 230 and 300, and 10 of them are mine. But so like occasionally an auction will go for over 230, but most often not. Most often people are going to search the card. Oh, they're listed between 230 and 300. I'll try an auction. They'll throw out auction bids for like 225, and they'll usually win one. If they don't, though, yeah, it happens, but it's the exception, not the rule. Dan doesn't listen to music. He's definitely a robot. Baby Shark Radio sounds like it could give you cancer. All 12 items on my eBay are low list and haven't sold a buy it now in 1 month. LMAO. What kind of cards are they? Josh, are they the kind of Yu-Gi-Oh cards you brought to Collecticon that didn't sell either? If you're selling niche / things people don't want right now, it's not going to sell. And honestly, like last auction of this is like 220. Low list buy it now is 230. So the spread is tiny. I have 2,000 listings in my store. Of those 2,000 listings, at least 1,000 of them are probably listed at double the last auction. If a card's auctioning for 50 and the low list buy it now is 100, when you list at 99, yeah, old niche expensive. Yeah, like if you're low list at 99 when the last auction was 50, and if you go on PokeData and one of those sells every 3 months, obviously it's going to sell slower. That's why I want more of this. One key metric that I'm looking at more and more in my eBay is just the like the inventory turnover. I have 2,000 listings. I sell about 20 a day. So I'm selling about 1% of my store per day. I want to get that number to like, I don't know what's realistic, but I want more and more things like this. And some of those 2,000 listings are multiple quantity. I want to be doing 40 a day. I want to double my turnover, double my throughput. So sorry if this has already been answered. Do you only sell in the US on eBay, or do you also do international shipping? Why or why not? Thank you for your time. I do eBay international shipping. It used to be called the Global Shipping Program, but if you just Google search eBay international shipping, basically if you don't provide any international shipping options in your listing and you opt in to eBay International Shipping, by default, you will like automatically have your listings pushed into that. You ship domestically to the eBay forwarding service. They do the international portion. They deal with customs forms. They deal with all that stuff. They charge the buyer all the forwarding fees. You just get what you get. So that's where I'm at. Jarvis says just auction and don't be a scaredy cat. It's not about being a scaredy cat. It's about making higher margins. In cards like this, if I had listed 21 auctions Sunday, I would get 21 sales on next Sunday. 10% of them wouldn't pay, and I would get an average of 215 to 220 each instead of the 230, 235 each I got on my eBay. But I know that was mostly a joke, mostly a meme. But yeah, auctions have their place. I understand why people auction, but I think a lot of cards are just better off not being auctioned, and yeah, that's why I don't. I'm pretty much caught up on chat right now. Let me see. So it looks like the Friday stream is what's winning. I think what I'm gonna do then, I'm gonna end the poll. We have a decisive 54% to 46% victory for Scarlet and Violet release Friday. So 8 a.m. Friday. 8 a.m. Friday, I'm going to do a stream. 8 a.m. till 11 p.m. I need to think how much product I can open in that time. But as of right now, I'm going to populate some listings on the site. I am doing 9-pack lots, and I'm doing 9-pack lots and booster boxes. I'm probably going to put up, let's see, I'm going to put up a case. Let's do a case worth. I'm going to do a case worth of booster boxes, and I guess I'll just do a case. 2 cases might be. Let me, to be safe, I'm going to do 3 booster boxes for right now, and I'm going to do 12 36-pack lots. I am doing the booster boxes bulk only, or no, sorry, bulk retained. I keep the bulk, hits only. So what I'm calling bulk, I usually ship reverse hollows, but since they added 2 new reverse hollow slots, if I ship 3 cards from every pack, that's over 100 cards. I'm going to ship hollows and up. So you'll be getting like 36 cards, and I'll keep the remaining 90% of bulk. But yeah, right as we speak, I'm putting up 3 booster boxes of Scarlet Violet for Friday morning stream. They're live right now. And then I'm also going to put up 12. So I guess I'll put up, instead of 12, I'll do 18. So that, no. I'll do 24. I'm completely lost on my brain's just not working right now. But yeah, I'll do 24 quantity of the 9-pack lots. The way the 9-pack lots work, what they functionally are, is in ETB. So I'm breaking down ETBs, and I'm just putting the 9 packs from one ETB, and then I'm putting like the card sleeves in between. So when you buy the 9-pack lots, you don't get the promo, you don't get the sleeves, you don't get anything else. But if anyone cares, they're all guaranteed from the same booster box, or ETB, from the same ETB. So that's what's gonna be up available. If you buy them now, you can buy them, reserve your spot for Friday morning. Hits only. But yeah, let me link my store quick. It is linked in the description, but I'll drop the link again. Feel free to go there. I'm doing I didn't see anyone with a better price. I'm doing $30 for 9 packs. You do have to pay shipping. If you buy 2 lots, anything over $50, you get free shipping. Under $50, you pay $5 shipping though. So it's $30 plus shipping for 9 packs of Scarlet Violet, or it's $120 for a box. So yeah, those are all available on the site right now. I am gonna stream Friday morning. I went with a democratic the democratic process. I'll honor that. 3 booster boxes available, 24 lots of 9 packs. I'm going to just stream at 8 a.m. and I'll stream. Like, it might be a really quick stream. If no one's awake, if no one wants any, I'll end the stream whenever I'm done selling it. But yeah, I'm going to give it a try. And then what I'll do is probably sometime in late April, I'll do like a variety stream that I normally do once a month. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Let me catch back up. Danbot, what's your favorite color? Looking for a straight answer here. Blue and green. Probably blue. I'm so bad at picking favorites. Probably blue, to be honest. Mets. I'm always wearing a blue shirt because I'm always wearing like a Mets or a Rangers shirt. Green is the Jets, so blue and green is usually what I wear. My favorite teams. They aren't my favorite teams because it's they wear my favorite colors. It just happens to be that way. But yeah, those are my favorite colors. Dan's right. Gold Charizard 8.5 sold at auction around 100. Got an offer for 160. Be patient, y'all. I demand a recount. There was some funny business with the vote counter. I only auction junk when I want to get rid of it and don't care about the sale price. So Brad G Cards admitting that he paper hands away the margin for all the rest of us. Thanks. Thanks, Brad G Cards. Got an offer on an 8 for 140. Don't need money and be patient. Honestly, like, that's yeah, there are enough bulk slab buyers out there that if it's that junky, bulk it out to a whatnot seller. And if it's better, throw it up. And then, yeah, don't put yourself in a position where you need the money, to be honest. Sell with patience. Selling booster boxes bulk only. Standard Dan move. Oh, man. Can you show some examples of what you think would grade an 8 or a 9 in PSA without the slab? I'm trying to see if cards I have are worth grading. Not really, because my camera's not that great and it's just not going to come through well enough to really mean anything. Grade a few cards. Honestly, grade a few cards. Usually, what makes a 9 a 9 compared to a 10 is specks of whitening on the back. 10s often can have 1 or 2 specks, but if it has more than 1 or 2 specks, or if the specks are big enough, maybe a gentle hollow scratch, maybe off center. Those are the main things. Like, it's like grading cards isn't that difficult, to be honest. If a card looks super clean, PSA grades 40+% of Pokemon cards as a 10. Primarily ultra modern, primarily Japanese, yes, but it's fairly easy. I would say just throw a few cards out for grading, get a feel for it, or if you want to do it for free, go through high-res scans on PWCC. Go through high-res scans right on PSA's website. Just go through certain number by certain number. And hands-on experience can't be beat, though. Grade some cards for yourself and see how it goes. Yeah, Dan does this on iPod Touch. Camera quality wouldn't be great. Look up Gemmit. He has great videos on it. Absolutely. What's my favorite card from Scarlet Violet base set? I haven't opened it yet. I'm going to open a box or two tonight with my family. And then I'm going to open it on Friday with you guys. I really don't look at too many spoilers. I haven't seen the whole set list. I've seen some cards here and there. But I like to experience these things with everyone else for the first time. So I'll be experiencing it live on Friday. Make sure you send all that bulk in a PWE, please. Bink says, dude, where were you an engineer at? I know chemical, but was it a utility company or what? I worked at a specialty compound, primarily in the semiconductor industry. We primarily made solders and fluxes and things like that. I didn't work in those main segments, though. I worked in some of our more niche product lines, specialty compounds of inorganic chemicals, basically. I don't want to get too specific, but pretty small company. No one would have heard of it. But we dealt with very niche things. We Our main business was selling solders and fluxes to like big companies that you would definitely have heard of. Apple, Tesla, any electronics company you can think of, you can hear of. We made different solders and fluxes and stuff for, but I dealt with some very specialty compounds that only a few people in the world were manufacturing. Very, very small scale. Appreciate you, Mr. Walrus. Are you more so looking forward to the second English set? And is your answer yes because there's a Quaxley AR? My answer is absolutely yes if there's a Quaxley AR. I didn't know that, but yeah, I'm really hyped now for the second set. I find it odd Dan quits chemicals and Kurt's card care gets released. Oh man, how's it going, E-Unit? Thoughts on oil slowly being phased out of USD? I do not really have any thoughts on such worldwide, like broader economics topics like that. Yeah, right now the US dollar enjoys its status as reserve currency. I do follow a lot of finance stuff, but I don't know enough about it to comment on it on YouTube. But yeah, like we do benefit from being the reserve currency of the world, largely because the petrodollar, oil is traded in dollars. 50 years from now, 20, 30, 50 years from now, when oil is less significant, right? All the renewables, what effect will that have on us? Will we still retain the reserve currency status? I have no idea on any of those things. A lot smarter people than me that keep up on those things make a lot of videos and have podcasts and things where they talk about that. So I would say check those out. Yeah, caught up with chat again. I'm going too quickly through everything. I see that we have some orders coming in, so I appreciate people supporting. Looking forward to ripping this stuff bright and early Friday with everybody. My Shopify just crashed, so I can't see how many orders there are. Huh. Hopefully my Shopify doesn't break. But yeah, I'm going to shout it out one more time since there's a little bit of a lull here and we have 100 people watching now. I did a challenge video. If you watch my short from last Friday, 33 seconds of your time, if you could watch that short. Sporkle quiz, it's linked in the description. The Tiltify page, which links the video, it links the quiz, all that good stuff. Trying to raise money for breast cancer research. Not really any special occasion. I just had the idea of that challenge come to me a few weeks ago, so I set out to do it, changing up the content, mixing it up a little bit. It's funny. So many people say that you need to start editing your videos. The most well-edited video I've ever released on Monday, and it's not performing that well relative to my past 10. I don't think I'm ever going to start doing mainstream type YouTube videos where they're fully edited and all that, because the couple times that I've had someone do it, and shout out to Silent in Discord, shout out to Melfi Collectibles. I really appreciate you for doing that edit. I think he did a great job with it. My video Monday of me doing the challenge. It was a fun challenge to do. The pressure got to me. Honestly, when I clicked record, the pressure got to me. I performed way worse than I would have expected. But at the end of the day, if we raise a few $100 for charity, I think that's great. The Charizard UPC is unlocked. So sometime in May, probably run it for like 4 to 6 weeks. Sometime in May, I'll do a live stream where I give away the Charizard UPC. If we hit $1,000, which I think we will, I already owe a couple hundred more. We're at 521 right now. So we're at about 700 or so. If we hit 1,000, I add a Scarlet Violet booster box. And if we hit 5,000, that goal right here, I give away an Evolving Skies booster box. So I think that's a pretty ambitious goal, but you got to set an ambitious goal. Hopefully it takes off, but thus far the algorithm isn't doing it any favors. I'm listing SV singles After a conference call, I feel like Nick, I should have $20 by Sunday. Yeah. What do you think the PSA 10 Moonbreon will be at in 5 years? I would say somewhere between, in absolute terms, like not inflation adjusted, just how many dollars will it be? I could see it being $600 to $800. It's a complete guess, but that's my guess. Yeah, Mason. It was Melfi. Melfi collects on Instagram, Silent on Discord. He goes by a couple different names. I think he has an Instagram, Melfi Media, as well. 100 watching, only 33 likes. Don't forget to hit that like. I appreciate you. New low in the hobby. You literally have to give CUPC away. Yeah. PGE Collectibles. Hey man, thoughts on best way to sell when you have multiple slabs in the same grade, quantity option, separate post, or list once one is sold? Thanks. I literally just talked about this earlier, so I'll bring it back up. But I've sold 21 of these in the past 4 days. And the way that I'm doing it, I'm testing something for a video. So I did like 8 separate listings at various price points with various ad rates. But what I would personally recommend, what I personally do, if they're above $100, I always use unique front and back photos. So I would list maybe 3 of them at around the same price so that you have 3 listings. Once they sell out, how I do it, I put -47 at the end for this card because of its cert number. And once that sells, I pop in these photos and I put -75 and I re-up the quantity to quantity 1. So when you have a listing that has sales history, like right now, I think my most sold listing of this has 6 or 7 sold. When you have one of these with 6 or 7 sold, it moves you up the search ranks. eBay sees that they're selling. eBay sees that you're making them money, so they push that listing more. So I think one listing that you list one at a time with new photos is the way to go. I would not do sell similar. I would enable the out of stock feature on my eBay store so that the sales history can be recorded. And so that eBay can see this is the same listing that I've been selling through. And I'm making them a bunch of money, so they're going to make me a bunch of money. That's the way that I've always done it. If this card was sub $100, so like for example, I have a bunch of these in PSA 9 as well. These are $99.99. I took the photo of the front of one of these, and I think I put up quantity 10 or something. I might have like 15, but for now I put quantity 10. That's the way I do it, and I put stock photo. You won't get the exact card shown. You'll get one in the same grade, same card, same variant, whatever. But that's the way I do it. If it's sub 100, I do a stock photo. And if it's over 100, I do unique front and back, and I list them one at a time. That's my way. I don't know that that's the best way, but it works really well. As I said, I've moved 21 of these recently. What's your thoughts on people grading VHSs and CDs? Ever think about giving it a shot? My honest thought, my honest opinion on that is not everything needs to be in plastic. And I say that fully aware that so much of my job, so much of my business revolves around putting cards in plastic. I think it's really silly. I think that Sorry Earth, drop the Sorry Earth in chat. I think it's crazy how much people overvalue plastic. At the end of the day, I'm one person and the market doesn't agree with my thoughts on it. So I'm not going to fight it. I'm just going to do business with it. I don't think I'll ever get into VHSs and CDs because cards keep me fully busy and I don't have the time to. I think there'll be a lot more niche. But yeah, like my true honest opinion is people way overvalue plastic and people way overvalue the third party opinion. Grading absolutely needs to exist. I think they provide a great thing to our market. They provide that unbiased third-party opinion. But how much some people value these conditional rarity, or at this point, not even conditional rarity, because like there are thousands and thousands and thousands of these in PSA 10 right out of the gate, 90% 10 rates. It's not even conditional rarity anymore. It's just literally plastic. But yeah, they're grading everything. They're grading Funko Pops. They're grading CDs, DVDs, VHSs, games. If they start, I mean, I grade coins. I grade at some point though. Like it doesn't all. It's not all needed. But I'm just one guy. Whatever. Um. With how big Pokemon is, why do you think we don't have more people like PokeRev? Basically, nice production value and charismatic. The pack value isn't entirely the reason, I don't think. I think we have a decent amount of people like PokeRev. Look at Deep Pocket Monster flying up through the ranks. Look at some of the more original, like earlier ones, Super Duper Danny and Leonhardt and Unlisted Leaf. And there are quite a few channels above like 50,000, 100,000 people. At the end of the day, like, and then there are massive amounts of 1,000 to 10,000. I know one that's like on the come up, growing pretty big. His name's Pokevault Sean. So yeah, I think they're out there, but at the end of the day, like it's a fairly tough task to be the one to take off, to be the one to grow. I think there's a lot of people kind of in the vicinity of me. Like there's probably a lot of people from 1,000 to 10,000, and there's probably a lot of people sub 1,000 subscribers too. At some point, like the space is only so big, right? Like PokeRev is getting hundreds of thousands, millions of views. So is Pat Flynn. You can't have 1,000 people getting 1,000,000 views, right? There's going to be dilution at some point. There's always going to be some amount of people that rise to the top though and really excel at what they do. Yeah, Max Mofo is starting to do content again, I saw. But I think we have quite a few, and I think it'll just be kind of like an equilibrium value will be found eventually. What that is, I don't really know. If it's gradable, grade it. Grade consoles too. Selling modern PSA 9s is a loss. You must get 10 to make a profit, but the profit's way overboard. There are so many cards in a 9 that are profit. It's kind of crazy. I think 9s generally should be a loss, and 10s should be a little bit of profit, but 10s are like tripling your money or more in many instances, and 9s are like still making profit in a lot of them too. It's kind of mind-blowing. Thoughts on the overall trajectory of the Japanese market, particularly sealed vintage versus the price of slabs? I don't know much about the prices of sealed vintage Japanese, but I think there's a lot of crazy things, bubbly things going on in ultra modern. How they'll all pan out, I have no idea. I do partake in some ultra modern Japanese sealed product now. I don't have direct wholesale distribution, but I'm picking it up in quantity for some of the sets moving ahead. I really don't know though. Price of slabs, a lot of the more exclusive and not even more exclusive. A lot of the PSA 10 waifus, ultra modern, and a lot of the older, more exclusive Japanese promos in PSA 10 are going. They're on fire lately. It's absolutely mind blowing. How that's all gonna end, I have no idea. A lot of it honestly feels 2020 bubbly-ish. But will it 10x again before it crashes, or will it never crash? Will it cool down and just trade sideways? I really don't know. 20 years from now, PSA 10 slabs will be so common, people will use them as coasters. I think there will be $1 bin slabs. There are in sports. I know that Pokemon is not sports. I know that every Pokemon has a favorite, blah, blah, blah. But there's going to be too much someday, I think, for sure. I could be wrong, but I think there's going to be too much. Well, PokeRev has 2 million, big jump from all those names you mentioned. Leonhardt and Unlisted Leaf have over 1 million. Max Mofo has several 100,000. Deep Pocket Monster has several 100,000 on his way to 1 million. Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be. It's like there's going to be a big fall off after the GOAT, right? After the highest one. But there's quite a few of Hall of Famers up there, I think. Quite a few big people up there. Actually, I see now it's 4:30. PokeJace is doing what they can to not let there be $1 slabs out there, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's $1 slabs out there yet, but I think there will be at some point. That said, it's 4:30. It is my quitting time. I appreciate everyone watching. I'm going to just drop the Tiltify link for anyone who would like to donate. I appreciate you, Mr. Walrus, for letting us see that fancy GIF on screen during the stream. But yeah, it's quitting time for me. I appreciate everyone hanging out. Don't forget, there are the Scarlet and Violet products. I see there's been a couple orders. There are the Scarlet and Violet products. I will be streaming Friday morning. Those are available on the website. So yeah, I look forward to Friday morning opening that product with you all. I will